Excuse me for taking a break. I take a break there. But like I said, we have to apply God's word. It has to be a match in the spirit. For me, I don't want to live my life and not know who Jesus is, not know about my Lord and my Savior. You know, I don't just want to pass this life by and not know who Jesus is and leave. I've seen people who did that, but I don't. I saw my mom who was a soldier of God and who was a woman of God, an evangelist, a missionary, a sister in the gospel of Jesus Christ, a mother in the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I've seen my mom have worshiped God and praised God, and God took her, and she's gone back with Jesus. I've seen my mom forge ahead, no matter what, difficulties, storms, seasons, she forged ahead. She kept her eyes on Jesus, and I've seen this. She finished, like Paul said, I fought the good fight of faith. Okay, he said, I fought a good fight of faith. And that's what we have to do. That's what I want for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I know for me, I have to endure. I have to be steadfast because I see my mom. And I want to, I'm going to heaven, but I just don't want to not go and not know who Jesus is and be able to reach others and make a difference in the world. You know, we're all going to be evaluated by Jesus on what we did in this body and what we did in this life. You know, and I just don't want to go to heaven and not bring nobody else with me. You know, I don't want to go before judgment and be turned away sad. I don't want that. You know, I want to be victorious in my spirit, my faith walk. And I want to be victorious in reaching and planting a seed and reaching others. I don't care how small, and I don't care how big it is. You know, it may look small to others, and it may look small to me, but it's a giant to Jesus. It's a giant to God. It may be seen insignificant to others, but it is significant to God. It may not seem a big deal to others, but it's a huge, super deal to God. Because God don't see how man see. He said, my ways are not your way. And neither my thoughts are your thoughts. They're higher and above. So, I want to be victorious. I want to reach as many as I can. And we can do that thanks to technology. We can also, you know, spread the good news and plant seeds physically in front of people. And we also can do it through the internet, through websites, Facebook, you have Twitter, Gmail, you have YouTube, you have Weebly, you know, all kinds of sites where you can reach people all over the world. Okay, it's not limited anymore. And I just thank God for that. The Bible says we are fooling ourselves when we don't obey, we don't do what God commands us. He's not only telling us, He commands us. And when you walk in disobedience, and what happens when He said in the Bible, when we walk in disobedience, you fall under the curse. The curse of lack, the curse of poverty, the curse of just enough, the curse of insufficient, bondage, whatever, depression, oppression, whatever it is. It'd be hard for you to forge ahead. You know, no prayer life. You know, you won't be able to go forward. And I talk to so many people who are stuck. You know, they're just stuck and they're mean. You talk to them, they're mean. And they hurt people and they slander. And, you know, and that's not good. That's not Jesus. And that certainly is not going to draw people in. They're not going to want what you're selling. They're not going to want it. They're not going to buy what you're selling. You know, we have to set an example. We have to set ourselves apart. You know, we have to live the life. You're just going to keep going in circles. You're going to bump head. And you go around that mountain over and over. You'll be in that wilderness over and over and over and over and over and over again. It'll be just a repeat, a repetition. You be stuck. You become non-productive. You become frustrated. You become anger. Become strife. And all kinds of evil vices. Like I say, you cave in. You quit. Some people throw in the towel. They just say, I can't do this. I just can't do it. Why we feel that way? It's because we're not working. We got to work. To be saved, to get saved, it's easy. But to stay saved, it's work. It's a daily. That's why the Bible says daily read, daily pray, daily meditate, daily fellowship. Daily. Do it on a daily basis. Pray morning, noon, and night. Pray. Just pray. You know, do those short prayers. Pray. It's a daily thing. It's not a one day. It's every day. 7 days a week. A labor. And if we're not putting in the time, then we're not going to get anything out. Simple as that. You're going to quit. You're going to quit if you just think that it's just going to happen. Nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. If things just happen, and God just dropped things out of the sky like Santa Claus dropped gifts, then we all will be happy. And it'll be so easy. But it's not. Life is not easy. Life takes work. Anything that we do, anything I have done, anything I have exceeded at, takes work. It's going to take work. Okay? But it gets easier. It does get easier. Number 9, this teaching is going to be super. It's good. Number 1, for someone seeking employment, this is going to be a good teaching. This faith-filled word is awesome. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy it. If you're a business owner, if you're desiring to start a business, if you're underemployed or if you're discouraged, you need this teaching. It's going to elevate you. It will guarantee anyone's success in life because it is founded on the Word of God. And God does not fail. God can do anything but fail. God does not lose any battles. He doesn't lose nothing. Okay? God don't lose. He never lost. Past, present, and the future. He will not lose. He will never fail. Man fail. We fall. But not God. Number 10, it will have you evaluate, and this teacher will have you reevaluate every aspect of your life. It will help your character. It will help your faith. It will help you persevere. And it will help you to love. And it'll help you fall in love with God even more. Because it mixes faith and action. And I said earlier, faith without works is dead. Bible clearly states, faith without work is dead. And show you how to plug into the biblical principles that are both preach, teach, and practice. And you can achieve massive success in your life. And God's faith will transform your mindset. It will transform your thinking from glory to glory. It will train you to speak. It will train you to think. And it will train you to walk in the promises that belong to every believer, that belong to you. And we're going to be teaching on, first I'm going to start off with talk on positive thinking and faith. And then I'm going to do the force that created the universe. And then we're going to be teaching on receiving your heart's desire. We're going to be doing the faith-filled words. And the faith-filled words just simply say, confess what you are, confess what you have, and confess what you can do. God gave Jesus the power. Jesus, when he resurrected, Jesus gave us the power. He said we will do greater works. We should do greater works. And we have powerful. Our words are powerful. So we have to speak them. Speak positive, speak powerful, speak God-filled words. Okay. concept of positive thinking was put into writing around 1400 BC by the author Moses. Later authors through the 1st century AD elaborated on the concept of positive thinking. Their works are a collection of 66 books collectively known as the Holy Bible, the Biblicus, the Pentateuch. The biblical concept of positive thinking is called faith. Positive thinking and faith are similar but different. Positive thinking attempts to use your own power or an ambiguous higher power to fulfill your own personal agenda. Faith relies on God's power. Positive thinking is all about your agenda and your manipulating your environment. Faith is all about God's agenda and allowing God to fulfill His will, not my will, not your will, but His will and purpose for your life. Positive thinking is all about yourself and what you can get. Faith is all about God and what He can do through you. Positive thinking is filled with pride due to personal manipulation of the spiritual realm. Faith is filled with humility due to the recognition that your power comes from God. Positive thinking is about the creation. Faith is about the Creator. Positive thinking is about satisfying self. Faith is about glorifying God. The purpose of your life on the earth is to glorify God. That is why God made us, is to glorify Him. Not us glorified, not Him glorifying us, but us glorifying Him. Jesus said that He had brought glory to God here on the earth by completing the work that God the Father had given Him to do, according to John 17:4, Amplified Bible. You can also glorify God while you are on the earth by completing the work that God has given you to do, by completing an assignment that God has given you and birthed into you. Completing the work that God has assigned to you includes realizing your God-given dream. Realizing your God-given dream glorifies God. You were created to have fellowship with God through the process of realizing your God-given dream. Daily fellowship with God begins that process. During your times of fellowship with God, He will give you the details, the plans, and the necessary steps you need to realize your God-given dream. Your God-given dream represents the work that God has given you to do while you are here on the earth. Your fellowship with God facilitates the process of realizing your God-given dream. There are 3 truths that would enable you to get the most benefit from this teaching. The Bible contains the writings that are inspired by God. The Bible is basically God's breath. There is more manuscript support for the Holy Bible, and specifically the New Testament, than for any other body of ancient literature. Okay? The Bible is God's master success book, His blueprint for your success in life. And the principle contained in God's master success book will work for you to the degree that you believe they will work for you. All about faith. Approach the Bible not as the word of men, but as a divinely inspired word from God to you. First lesson 2:13. Accepting God's word as the source of truth for your life will provide guidance for you. The principles in God's Master Success book will work effectively in your life because the words that God speaks are alive and full of power. Hebrews 4:12 Amplified. You can be confident that when you act on the principle contained in God's Master Success book, they will become active, operative, energizing, and effective in your life. There is power within the pages of the Bible because those pages contain more than just knowledge and facts. They contain the essence of life itself. The Bible reveals the will of the Creator of the universe. God's Word was written for you. Look up the scriptures personally and study them for yourself. Okay? Always confirm with chapter and verse whenever anyone tells you what the Bible says. Now go for any speaker, any preacher, any writer, any teacher who is accurately pointing out biblical truths must have taken those truths from the Bible and therefore should know where in the Bible those truths are stated. It should give you scriptures where this is coming from. And as you learn and apply the principle in God's Master Success book, you will experience an increased level of motivation and inspiration. Your personal success will be captivated to the level you have never known before. You will be able to tap into the force that created the universe by understanding who you are, what you have, and what you can do because God made it possible for you to enjoy His life, His nature, His ability. The power of God makes it possible for you to tap into the force that created the universe. The answers you need for your success and motivation are already in Scripture. The power that created the universe has always been available to you. And this is your time, and this is my time, this is our season to learn how to tap into the force that created the universe. Positive thinking is similar to what God calls faith. However, positive thinking is limited by the abilities of the individual. Faith has no limit because God has no limits. Let me say that again. Faith has no limits because God has no limitations. Faith allows an individual to tap into the force that created the universe, according to the power that working within you, your level of faith. And how do you grow your faith? You got to be in the Word. You got to study your self-approval. You got to study and get understanding and meditate on God's Word. You got to speak God's words. Praise God. Positive thinking and faith. Positive thinking begins and ends with the human mind. Faith is a product of human spirit within. Positive thinking attempts to attain happiness as a result of thinking positive thoughts. Faith provides joy under all circumstances. Positive thinking focuses on thinking positive thoughts. Faith thinks according to the Word of God. Positive thinking hopes to possess the objects of its thoughts. And faith possesses the rights, the privilege, and benefits that God has already provided. Positive thinking gives the credit to man. Faith gives glory to God. Positive thinking strives to win in life based on the ability to maintain a positive attitude. Faith has already secured the victory and responds to the circumstances in life with thanksgiving. You are an individual miracle of God. You came into this world as pure potentiality. You are the only person with the potential to accomplish a specific task. God gave you that assignment. You're the only person that can accomplish that specific task and assignment. The realization of your God-given dream. God created you to do something during your life that only you can do. No other person can fulfill your unique assignment here on the earth. There is no other person to do the work that has been assigned exclusive to you. There's a lot of work has been done in ministry and the Christian faith, but there's still a whole lot of souls out there that needs to be saved. You got a whole lot of backsliders that got to be loved on, and they got to be poured into to get them back into the church. And God has a certain amount of people. That's why everybody has an assignment. Everybody has a gift. Certain amount of people to reach these people. Praise God. Realize your God-given dream requires that you develop your faith. Faith makes it possible for you to receive God's best for your life. God created you to have fellowship with Him through the process of realizing your God-given dream. Your dreams are God's seeking expression through you. God has provided you with everything you need in order to realize your God-given dream. God loves you, God has blessed you, and God has made provision for your success in your life. Let's go to Jeremiah 21:11. NIV says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." God has a future plan for you. That future includes prosperity, it includes hope, and it includes love. You have been given free will. We are a free agent. We have the right to choose Jesus or not. And wherever our fate lies, and where we end up in eternity, is our decision. It's nothing to do with God, it has nothing to do with Jesus, and it has nothing to do with the Holy Spirit. It is your choice. God give us the choice to choose life or death, blessing or cursing. Okay? So it's up to us. Nobody can make you do nothing. God is not going to make us do anything. It's a choice. He set for us life or death, blessing or cursing, and it's up to us to choose which path we're going to go. Okay? You can choose to accept the future God has made available to you. You accept the future God has for you through faith. Faith stays focused on the one who is faithful to perform His word in your life, and that's God. It is faith that enables you to receive all the provision that God has already made available for you. Living a life of faith releases God's ability as you realize your God-given dream. Part of your success in life includes the person you become in the process of realizing your God-given dream. Faith enables you to become everything God says you are, to possess everything God says you have, and to accomplish everything God says you can do. You got to believe it. Faith receives God's rewards and blessing. Not positive thinking, faith. All things are possible to the person who has faith. Faith accepts God's promises and receives God's rewards and blessing. Let's look at Hebrews 11:6. The NIV says, "And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." God's realm is a faith realm. Believing that God exists and believing that God will reward you both require faith. Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek first the kingdom of God." Remember I told you that what the Holy Spirit said to me? "And His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you." Jesus stated that when you put God and His kingdom first in your life, give me your application, you receive the things you need in your life. He didn't say wants, He didn't say stuff, He said the things that you need. Jesus stated that when you live right, the door to God's provision is open to you. We live right. You seek both God and His kingdom by diligently studying the principle in God's master success book, the Bible. Seeking God includes spending time with Him. Whenever you spend time learning God's word, you are spending time with God. When you're in the Bible, the Biblis, the Petacris, you're spending time with God. Jesus is right there. Jesus is right there, okay? Seeking God includes learning God's word and by hearing God's word. Romans 10:17 says, "So then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." Faith is God. Faith in God is faith in His word. Faith in God is faith in His word. Your faith will grow as you diligently study God's word. Your confidence in God's success principles will increase in direct proportion to your knowledge and understanding of those principles. Your knowledge and understanding will increase as you hear God's word. The results you attain from the study of God's word will be the direct proportion to your application of God's success principles in your daily life. It is faith in action that receives the reward and blessings of God. The success principle in God's word will work for anyone who acts on them. Action is the catalyst that releases the power of God. Now let's look at the power twins, faith and love. Let's go to Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the first half of the power twins. Let's look at this. Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. That's the NIV version. Faith is being sure of what you hope for. Hope is confident expectation that you will realize your God-given dream. Okay? Your faith is an essential element in the realization of your God-given dream. Faith sees your dream as a reality before your eyes see the end result. I'll say that again. Faith sees your dream as a reality before your eyes, before you see the end result. Faith releases the ability of God and causes events and circumstances to unfold according to the image of your dream. Faith does not wait for the 5 physical senses to confirm your dream, because faith knows that God's promises are trustworthy. Faith is knowing that you will realize your God-given dream. Love is the second half of the power twins. Galatians 5:6 Amplifier says, For if we are in Christ Jesus, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision counts for anything, but only faith activated and energized and expressed and working through love. Love activates your faith. I'm going to say it again. Love activates your faith. Love is what empowers your faith to receive the rewards and blessing of God. Love is what energizes your faith to realize your God-given dream. The phrase love your neighbor as yourself is repeated 8 times in the Bible. Let's go to see Leviticus 19:18. And you also see it in Matthew 19, 22 and 39. You see it in Mark 12:31, Luke 10:27, Romans 13:9, and Galatians 5:14, James 2 and 8. The first person you need to love is yourself. You must love yourself in order to effectively share your love with others. After Jesus, yourself. A healthy self-image and high level of self-esteem enable and empower you to give love to others. God is love, and Jesus commanded his followers to love one another with a God kind of love, which is agape love. Love is a command. He's not asking, he's not telling, he's commanding. John 15:12 says, This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Jesus' quote, as I have loved you, refers to the God kind of love. Jesus expressed the character of love, and he also exhibited the characteristic of God kind of love. The Greek word for the love that Jesus spoke of, I said it, agape. It's agape, A-G-A-P-E, which refers to the God kind of love. The characteristic of God kind of love, agape love, are found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Let's read it. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the 4th to the 8th verse. Ready? Read. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up. Does not behave rudely. Does not seek its own. Is not provoked at. Thinks no evil. Does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. Bears all things. Believes all things. Hopes all things. Endures all things. love never fails. The characteristic of agape love culminate with the victory cry, love never fails. God is love, God never fails. I said that earlier. And as you live a life of faith and express that faith by walking in love, you will never fail. Love never fails. Love always succeeds. When you walk in love, you always succeed. The power twins at work. Love, agape love, is what makes faith effective. Faith grows as you practice walking in love. 1 Corinthians 13:2, New Living Translation saying, and if I had such faith that I could move mountains, but didn't love others, I would be nothing. Were you to possess the faith that could remove the problems, challenges, and obstacles from your life, but were lacking in love, you would have accomplished nothing in the eyes of God. Probably to your soul, or somebody else could be, not truthful with you, but in the eyes of God, accomplished nothing. So who report are you going to believe? You must practice the God kind of love to fully develop your faith. Unless you walk in love, your faith will always be shallow and ineffective. I'm telling you. And if you're shallow and you're ineffective, it's because you have faith but you don't have the love. And that's why it's important to pray to the Lord for unconditional love. Unconditional love is agape love. To walk in love. That's the first fruit of the Spirit. Love. Love. L-O-V-E. Not L-U-V. L-O-V-E. God say love. Mark 11:22-25 says, so Jesus answered said to them, have faith in God. For assuredly I say to you, whoever says to